Hello everyone, how are you? I believe all of you are doing fine. Well, today we are going to go through the second part of the chapter, the alien planet, and this is going to be a detailed explanation. And the picture here, there is a poster on your screen, and it says all that if we need to live happily for a long, long time, then we have to save the energy, the resources, we have to use them properly. And I believe that was the best takeaway from first part explanation, sustainable development. If we learn it, adopt it, and use it, then we can ensure a better future for the coming generations. Well, let's get started with the second part without much ado. And yes, that's a very important quote that if I were a tree, I would have no reason to love a human. And it is so true. I mean, we cut down trees to widen the roads, to make buildings, to make cinema halls and supermarkets. We don't care actually. We don't care about the trees. The trees, forests are being cut every year to fulfill the needs of the human beings. And they provide us a lot resources, wood, may be firewood, but air and habitat to many other organisms, but we just don't care. Well, that's pretty sad. Well, uh, let's get started with the second part. This first paragraph I took earlier also, but this time again I'm going to go through it. One of the early international commissions which dealt inter alia with the question of ecology and environment was the Brand Commission, which had a distinguished Indian as one of its members, Mr. L.K. Jha. The first Brand report raised the question: are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes, and ailing environment? So, when we say scorched planet, it's burnt planet, where the resources are gone and it's burning like hell because of all the poisonous gases that we are emitting today and we have been emitting for years. And if we continue to do so, then after 80 years, 100 years, 200 years, it will become a burnt planet. And what about the successors? They need this planet too to live. So, are we going to leave a scorched planet for our children? And that's a very important question. Well, next paragraph. Mr. Lester R. Brown, in his thoughtful book, The Global Economic Prospect, points out that the Earth's principal biological systems are four: fisheries, forests, grasslands, and croplands. And they form the foundation of the global economic. Well, it's. Okay. So we have the fisheries and the forests, the croplands, and the grasslands. Together, they form the major biological and economic prospects. They provide raw material, fisheries, forests, croplands, and grasslands. And they are equally important for economy too. So, major global economic system, and they are the four principal biological systems. In addition to supplying our food, these four systems provide virtually all the raw materials for industry except minerals and petroleum derived synthetics. In large areas of the world, human claims on these systems are reaching an unsustainable level, a point where their productivity is being impaired. So, what has happened to these four biological systems is that we have consumed them beyond the sustainable limit and they are becoming impaired. They are decimating, depleting, vanishing, and that is a big problem. When this happens, fisheries collapse, forests disappear, grasslands are converted into barren wastelands, and croplands deteriorate. And how does this happen? This is explained here. In a protein conscious and protein hungry world, overfishing is common every day. So, the reason behind the collapsing of fisheries is given here, that we consume a lot of fish because fish is, as we all know, a very not a very, but the best way to consume protein. And the world has become protein conscious today. So that is why fisheries are collapsing slowly, gradually. Now, what about the forests? The reason given in the chapter is in poor countries, local forests are being decimated in order to procure firewood for cooking. In some places, firewood has become so expensive that what goes under the pot now costs more than what goes inside it. So, the reason given in the chapter is that because the firewood is in so much demand in many countries that the forests are being cut to provide the firewood to the people. But because the forests are now depleting, that is why the price of the firewood has increased a lot. Since the tropical forest is, in the words of Dr. Myers, the powerhouse of evolution, several species of life face extinction as a result of its destruction. So, we are all aware that if the forests are depleting, if they are destroyed, then not only the trees are the ones that suffer, but also many other organisms which are completely dependent on those forests. They also face extinction. So, we are responsible of the extinction of many species directly or indirectly. So, fisheries and forests collapse to fulfill human needs. That is the basic reason, and we cannot get away with that. More importantly, the way we are taking away the forests, we are snatching the habitat of many organisms. It has been well said that forests precede mankind, deserts follow. So, this is a very important quote that forests precede mankind. We go where the forests are, and when we go there, we transform it into desert. We cut down the forest, and the area becomes barren. The world's ancient patrimony of tropical forest is now eroding at the rate of 40 to 50 million acres a year, and the growing use of dung for burning deprives the soil of an important natural fertilizer. The World Bank estimates that a five-fold increase in the rate of forest planting is needed to cope with the expected fuel wood demand in the year 2000. And that was written in 1994. And when we are talking about it in 2022, the situation has not improved, not at all. The forests were cut in 20th century, and the forests are being cut in 21st century too. We haven't learned our lesson. And in these 20 or maybe more years, more species would have become extinct because the forests were being cut over the years. These are some of the data to be presented here in the chapter. James Peth, the president of the World Resources Institute, said the other day, "We were saying that we are losing the forests at an acre a second, but it is much closer to an acre and a half to a second." So the estimates here, the data given in the chapter, clearly states that how we are losing the forests. We assume that it might be an acre a second, but it is more than that. And this is a big problem. If we have to secure the planet, then we have to secure the forests. That is the key. And this is one picture that how the forests, they were depleting over the years, and how the area which used to be green turned into barren land, wasteland, and the greenery is all gone. Article 48A of the Constitution of India provides that the state shall endeavour to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forests and wildlife of the country. So it is given in the Constitution. They too, the forest and other living organisms, they too have a right on this land of ours, on this planet. And the constitution, Indian constitution, has given them the right too. But do we care about their rights? But what causes endless anguish is the fact that laws are never respected nor enforced in India. For instance, the constitution says that casteism, untouchability, and bonded labor shall be abolished. But they flourish shamelessly even after 44 years of the operation of the constitution. So, like many other laws that were made years and years ago, they are still not implemented properly in the same manner. This Article 48A is ignored and not implemented properly. A recent report of our Parliament's Estimates Committee has highlighted the near catastrophic depletion of India's forests over the last 4 decades. India, according to reliable data, is losing its forests at the rate of 3.7 million acres a year. Large areas officially designated as forest land are already virtually treeless. The actual loss of forests is estimated to be about 8 times the rate indicated by government statistics. So, this particular part talks about the data available through government organizations or NGOs, but the picture is actually very clear that the forests are indeed depleting, and now they are not depleting by themselves. We are the ones who are cutting them to fulfill our needs because we need the area, we need resources, and for fulfilling the resources, for fulfilling the needs that are closer to us, we are doing something that is going to make the future suffer a lot. So we are not looking at the large picture, and that's pretty foolish. Now look at the data here. The forests, they have been depleting over the years, and in these 18 years also, the numbers are not decreasing, they are only in the increasing order. Well, a 3-year study using satellites and aerial photography conducted by the United Nations warns that the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. So the situation is indeed critical, and that is why the chapter is entitled as the ailing planet, because the planet and its health is in a critical situation. You can say that it is an ICU and it needs urgent afforestation. Well, there can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. It took mankind more than 1 million years to reach the first billion. That was the world population around the year 1800. By the year 1900, a second billion was added, and the 20th century has added another 3.7 billion. The present world population is estimated at 5.7 billion. Every 4 days, the world population increases by 1 million. So, this is the data of 1994. Today, the situation is pretty alarming than this one. And the basic reason behind the suffering of the planet is undoubtedly overpopulation. With every million increase, the more the people, the more the resources required, and the more the resources required, the biological systems mentioned earlier would be decimating with every passing year, every passing month, every passing minute, and the planet will keep on suffering because it would be giving away the resources for the population which would not stop. and how that population is going to survive on the planet, that's such a big question. The picture on the right clearly states that how the forests are limited now. They are shrunk down. And this area, which is visible, the green area, whenever the picture would have been taken, this green area would vanish too, because more houses will be required, more people would be there, of course. So, overpopulation is directly and indirectly responsible for the suffering of the planet, and this is the ultimate truth. That is the only reason. So, in the end, today, I would like to end it with the quote that what we are doing to the forests of the world is but a mirror reflection of what we are doing to ourselves and to one another. So, because this particular second part, dealt with the depletion of the forest, that is deforestation, that is why we must understand that what we are doing to our forests, that is going to affect us sooner or later. It's better for the human race to understand it, that what we are sowing, what we sow as we reap it. That's what it is said. And we must understand this small logic, that the harm that we are imposing on the planet is going to harm us, not somebody else. So, with this thoughtful quote, I would like to close it for today. In the next session, we will go through the last and final part of the chapter. Thank you.